Meeting LeBron James in person. LeBron James has become one of the greatest basketball players or athletes in today's era and in history. James is going to be finishing his career breaking dozens of records that might not be caught for quite some time. Being as famous as James is, it's hard to be polite and respectful every single day. It must get hard hiding from public and media all the time.
I was hired to play basketball, but here I am trying to buy a sandwich.
Now, James does a terrific job of staying out of the drama and giving back to his hometown, family, teammates, and friends and all. There haven't been any documented rude moments from LeBron James. Of course, there's times he doesn't want to sign autographs or doesn't have time to stop for those pictures. And that's not James's fault. Meeting LeBron James in person has actually changed people's lives for the better. Here are the times LeBron James was met in person and how he changed lives. He was never rude. Team attendant in high school. There aren't many bad things to say about LeBron James. Looking for very rude times from LeBron James is incredibly hard. A user on Quora named Therese Breton wrote about the time he was a team attendant in high school for the Milwaukee Bucks. Here's his story. I met several NBA players, as I was a team attendant for the Bucks in high school. When I first met LeBron, he completely shocked me. He was one of the biggest a-holes I ever met. Next to Kevin Garnett, who was the worst NBA player I ever met. 2 instances bear this out. Before any game and during halftime, all the players come out and shoot. Who rebounds? The team attendants. Sounds easy, right? Not when there are 12 basketballs bouncing everywhere with only 3 people rebounding. No matter how vigilant you are, you will be hit in the head with a basketball. Before one game, LeBron is yelling at the team attendant to get him the effing ball. While the girl is looking at him, a loose basketball smashes her in the head and dazes her. He looks at her, laughs, and says, "I'm still waiting on the damn ball." If you notice, when NBA players go to the bench, they put on their warmers. When they go back into the game, they remove the warmers at the scorer's table. The team attendant retrieves the warmers and folds it for the next time the player comes to the bench. In all my games I worked, only one player has ever done the following. When LeBron is going back into the game, he drops his warmers at the scorer table. When I go to pick up his clothes, he says, "Don't touch." He then enters the game holding his warmers. He walks all the way across the court and drops the warmers. Then he says, "Now you can get my." I was very pissed because I didn't want to lose my job and I didn't complain about it. Instead, while I was taking the warmers back to the locker room for halftime, I magically managed to drop LeBron's warmers and inadvertently stepped on it several times. And when I brought his warmers to him for halftime, he says, "Thank you." Gotta love karma. It's unclear what year this happened. It's likely this was during James's younger days in the league. He absolutely matured more and likely doesn't treat other teams' attendants like this anymore. Still, it's a shocking story. If it's true, this is James talking to the team's attendants and that isn't working for his team. He's talking to the Milwaukee Bucks team attendant, so it's not him joking around because he knows this guy well. It's him being completely out of line. His character. There are really no more stories about LeBron James being this kind of way. Maybe the team attendant took James's action too literally and James didn't mean anything by it. To most, LeBron is truly a role model and the king of sports. James has dominated the league ever since he came into the league. Not just the court, but also off the court. He's been a reliable role model and has really helped communities throughout his time in the NBA.
James loves his mama.
James seems like the villain for making a TV show called The Decision to announce he was going to play for the Miami Heat. James admit it was a mistake, but he didn't mean any harm by it. Questioning his character just seems wrong. It's probably why you clicked on this video. It should be known that James is a big contributor to community programs around the country. Currently, he's lending a helping hand in the Boys and Girls Club, UpNext, 101, and the Children's Defense Fund. He also has a charity called the LeBron James Family Foundation, where he raises money for a number of causes in his hometown, Akron, Ohio. Many superstar athletes reach a point where they're tired of dealing with the constant attention that the media and fans pour on them. With James, this is just simply not the case. Like, think about it. Can you imagine if every time you just walked from your house to your car, like you're just going to the store, pick up some eggs, and every time you step outside, you trip over the neighbor's cat? The cat being like someone who wants to take your photo in this instance. Pretty soon, you're not going to want to go get eggs anymore. And you're just waiting on that cat. Well, imagine if it's been 17 years and you eat a lot of eggs. Boom, that's James. But you know what? James loves that cat. James pets the cat with authority. That was a long story. I don't know if I could deal with that. There are countless times where James has stopped to sign autographs, take pictures, talk to kids, and show his appreciation for fans. When you're a star like LeBron James, it's easy to forget where you came from. It's easy to just get tired of people and walk away. James will have his moments, like everyone else, but he still finds time to make people stay when he can. Remember the time when a Heat fan made a half-court shot to win a huge check of cash? James was watching the entire time, and when the guy made the shot, James ran to him and hugged in excitement. Okay, he tackled him, but still, it was an incredible moment from a fan. It's clear that LeBron genuinely cares for his supporters. When LeBron James decided to play for the Miami Heat and leave Cleveland without a ring, Cleveland was devastated. It's like a girl you don't call back after a first date.
Kind of bad. Sorry, Cleveland. You're better than him anyways.
But that didn't stop him from coming back to his hometown and making sure every child in his alma mater school was set up for success. LeBron made sure to buy brand new uniforms for the entire football team and actually showed up to the high school's pep rally. Eventually, he came back to Cleveland because he realized he didn't accomplish everything he wanted to in Cleveland. He closed that book. He won a ring against one of the best teams in NBA history, in the Warriors. Quality citizen. It's also known that LeBron James even went to his scheduled jury duty. I hate jury duty. This makes him a quality citizen. Not only did he attend, he tweeted his excitement about going to jury duty. Most people ignore their request, but LeBron made sure to show up when it was his turn. When others saw him attend jury duty, it helped other citizens realize that he's a human just like the rest of us, except much more famous and makes a lot more money and has 1 billion followers on Twitter. Let's think about this. I post, I'm making a sandwich. It is yummy smelling. And I get 0 likes, 0 followers, and 0 new retweets. James does that. The world blows up and the sandwich sales skyrocket across the country. Ridiculous example, but I move on. He was being a good role model to help people around the world. Once they saw him attend, others would want to attend their jury duty as well. LeBron is also very dedicated. That's why you'll never really see him out and about throughout the day. He trains non-stop. The training sessions include yoga, advanced training techniques, extreme weight training, and other wild activities. To be great, you gotta train like the greatest. He spends plenty of hours working on his game to keep that GOAT status intact. Almost all of the time, you'll always see LeBron smiling and happy. He's always staying out of drama unless it's a topic he needs to support. He's been seen plenty of times having fun around with his teammates and reporters. He's also a pretty good dancer when good things happen on the court. There are many comparisons as to who the best players in the league are. LeBron James has one quality that most don't. He's a great leader. When his teammates are asked about him, they always have respectful things to say. They know if they take advice from LeBron, they'll be in good shape. For LeBron to come back to Cleveland after leaving his hometown via a TV show to win a championship shows you everything you need to know about LeBron. He realized he made a mistake and also made a promise that he hadn't kept at the time. It takes a lot of guts to come back to a fan base that showed a lot of hate towards him previously. James approached the situation with grace and understanding. Thankfully, the fans forgave LeBron when he came back, and then again, he won a fan base and championship that they'll never forget. James is also the vice president of the National Basketball Players Association. James has taken a larger role on to help all of the players in the NBA. James has clear influence on all the players in the NBA, as most of these guys grew up watching LeBron James play. It's known that when he asked Commissioner Adam Silver to increase the length of the All-Star break in 2014, Silver agreed and made the change thanks to LeBron. James seems to never get himself in trouble anywhere he goes. He stays disciplined and allows players to lock up, and allows players and people to look up to him as a role model. The spotlight has never destroyed James as a person, and he's seen as a positive influence in any type of community. With social media becoming a big part of our lives and sports in general, LeBron has done a great job with handling all of the fame and media. He's a solid example of LeBron's humanity. At an airport in Oakland City, the Heat were waiting for their plane to receive fuel. This was the exact time that the military personnel were waiting for their helicopters to be filled up. Some of the men in uniform asked to take photos with the players, but Miami security said no. James stepped in to make sure he could take a couple photos with them. According to a local Oklahoma City newspaper, LeBron told the military guys to come over and take photos with the entire team. He brought together all of the team and made sure they got all the photos that they wanted. It wasn't like a bench player on the Heat doing this. This was LeBron freaking James. Sometimes when these stars get so big, they forget about other humans' feelings. LeBron doesn't. Teenager with cancer. Corey Groves, a 17-year-old, was diagnosed with stage 4 sarcoma cancer and was given 1 more year to live. His dying wish had been to meet the greatest player of all time, LeBron James. On Christmas in 2019, Groves saw his wish come true. Before a game against the Clippers, Groves attended the Lakers walkthrough and got to meet James. Groves added a picture of himself and James inside the Staples Center on Instagram. Groves made the trip to Los Angeles with his mother and younger brother without even knowing if James's groin injury would sideline him for the game on Christmas Day. It didn't matter to Groves. He got to meet James and saw his wish come true. He admitted that he wasn't taking anything for granted and would do anything basketball related before getting sick. Before getting sick, I would eat, sleep, basketball, Groves told Toronto Sun in early December. Chances are, being from LA for the Christmas Day game, will be my last holiday ever. I'm hoping to spread the word and maybe get LeBron's attention so I can shake my hero's hand. Groves has been impressed with LeBron with how he's played on the court, but also loves LeBron for who he is off the court. He's watched James's efforts in the community. Went on to say, LeBron James just does so many good things off and on the court. Recently, he fed tacos to first responders. No one is asking him to do that, but he goes ahead and does it anyways. Groves told CTV News Toronto recently, some athletes are there for the money, but he really cares about his job. James has done so much in his career and has millions of people who look up to him on a daily basis and watch what he does, not just on the court, but also off the court. It should be known that Toronto Raptors superfan Nav Bhatia helped plenty in setting up the meeting between Groves and James. Olympics girl. Another person on court shared their story about the time his friend met LeBron James and didn't even realize. The person is under anonymous, and we don't know their actual name or if the story is 100% real, although it does sound legitimate. The poster said, "My friend was at the Olympics with the basketball team, so after her return, we were all hyped to hear from her. Naturally, we asked her if she met anyone famous, and this is how the conversation went. So, did you meet anyone famous?" She says, "Yeah, there was this basketball player from the US who approached me, really cool guy and sweet guy. She said he liked my playing style, and we chatted for a bit. Asked me where I play. Do I like it? I asked him the same." The poster replied to his friend, "Wow, really? What's his name?" She replied, "Oh geez, I forgot. James something, I think. Others told me he's really famous." The poster yelled, "LeBron James?" She replied, "Oh yeah, that guy, LeBron." While we think everyone in the world must know who LeBron James is, his friend had no idea. It does sound like a slap in the face to LeBron, but it seems like LeBron wasn't really worried about people knowing who he was at this particular time. It sounds like he was just making conversation and being nice towards people who are nice to him. He probably enjoys people not knowing who he is sometimes because he just wants to live a normal life at times. This girl had no interest in basketball and didn't know anything about LeBron, but that didn't stop LeBron James from being a nice person and doing the right thing.